Hi, this is Sue from Miller's Laboratory. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be flipping through this journal that I had just finished and I am posting for sale in my Etsy shop. The link is below. Please head on over there and take a look at what I've got. I'm real excited about this journal. It's similar to another one that I made recently where I used a big manila folder as the cover. The size of this journal is 12 inches tall, 4.5 inches wide, and depending on how much you squish it, I'm gonna say about 1.5 inches thick. The book cinches closed with this little belt that I made from a really pretty textured linen-y sort of looking ribbon with a couple of D-rings. So this is a really easy way to fasten and unfasten the book, and it stays closed, and you can tighten it or loosen it depending on how much stuff you've got inside, and it's really secure. So I do use those quite a bit. I'm going to first just open this book up all the way so you can see the whole cover with the spine. And what I've done here is I've used a vintage piece of embroidery that I found at a thrift store, and it is glued on and then also stitched on. You can see the zigzagging around the edge of that. I've also stitched all the way around with a straight stitch around the edge of the cover to keep things nice and secure. And then you can see my stitching here. I've just simply stitched in one signature. There are a total of 92 pages in this journal if you count both front and back. Also, I just wanted to say that on the front here I just did a little bit of sort of stamping with a background stamp that I have, and then I thought it needed a little brightening up, so I added a few little white flowers that I drew in with a gel pen. Otherwise, I've kept the cover part just plain, but you can certainly decorate that if you would like to. Okay, so let's take a look inside. Starting with the inside cover, I just used this pretty digital image and then added some extra paper collaged in the back to fill it all in. The back cover is a mirror image of that. You'll see that when we get there. This is made from a calendar, a vintage calendar. I was able to purchase several of these from a thrift store with Audubon bird pictures in it, and I will be using those more in the coming projects. This particular one, the bird showed more on the other side of the image, so I added this little butterfly or dragonfly up there just to give a focal point. On this side we have a little pocket. Inside I have tucked an old math paper that I found in a vintage math book. And I just made it into a little journaling card and added a tab and a tag and a little flower image at the bottom. And when you pull that tag out, you see a book plate that I put in there, so that's where you can put your name. This is a digital of some marbled paper, just added a little collage on there. I've used a lot of digitals in this book, but where there's a vintage or an original piece of paper, I will point that out to you. If you're interested in any of these digitals, I have a link below that tells all of the shops that I have purchased digitals from on Etsy. And if you have specific questions, just give me a shout. I would be glad to help you out with that. Cute little image of a girl with flowers down here. Here I've made a page out of some brown packing paper, added some pretty labels at the top kind of as a top tab, and then I've also tucked in a tag here. This is from a really old book, like the inside page with a couple of different names written on there of who owned the book. Nice digital here and on the other side. This page here is made from some sort of an accounting card, and I've created a little flip, some old dyed book page on the back, and then there's a little tag tucked inside here. So even though I've used a lot of decorated pages, I'm still giving you plenty of space to write. I write all on there, here, and then also on the other side there. This is from an Edith Holden book. So pretty. This is another digital, and this page is going to flip out and out and out. See if I can get it all in the picture there. And then I've tucked a tag in here. This is a pretty image too. You can't see it as well, but it's a pretty scene of a lake and a sailboat, some trees. I thought that was really pretty for the back. You could write on that. It's light enough that you could write all over that if you wanted to. And then you can see the original page that I attached the flip out to. Some sort of a school book. This is a digital of an old, like a newspaper, and I added digitally the peonies on there. And then here's a page from an old hymnal. Added a pocket at the bottom here, and then I created a tag out of an art book that I have. On this side there's also a pocket. I put that pretty owl image there and just a little initial, and then a journal card here with a tab on it. This is just a really lovely digital here, printed on linen paper, so it's got a nice texture to it. And here I just used some embossed paper and tucked in a little. This is a digital, it's not an original, of a sweet little Victorian card with a bird on it. This is some original ledger paper here. And then this is from a book about birds that flips open. And inside I've created a little belly band with some vintage eyelet fabric. And I also just dangled that little charm there which says wish on it. And inside this one we have another journaling spot. And this one opens up, but of course it's not going to right now. Oh, here we go. So it's actually like a tri-fold. Okay. Here we have another little sort of banking, like something you could keep track of your finances, from a little notebook that I found. So I just have that open up like this with lots of space to write. And then inside here, this is a pocket, another little tag, also an open up one. I like those because they don't take up a lot of space, but they give you lots of room to write. All right, this spread has a lot going on. So first of all, we've got a little pocket up here with a tag inside. And then this is a glassine bag that I've decorated, and this flips up, exposes this tag, which is down here in this pocket, made from some vintage fabric with lace trim on it. And here we have this tag. And then I'm going to leave that out too. And then this folds down, down, and down for lots of writing space here. So kind of lots of little secret spots in this particular page. And then on this one, there's some collage in the background. This is an old, some sort of needlework book that I had. And I just created a belly band here that wraps all the way around on both sides of the page, halfway here. So I made a skinny little tag that goes in there. And then on this side, a journal card, just a print out of some butterflies. This is not a real postcard, I just printed that to make it look like that. On this page, this is actually some scrapbook paper, and I added this pretty digital of an embroidery, and it made a little up tuck, and in here I've tucked a letter. And I'm not going to open this up, but this is a digital print, and it's one of those letters that folds all up and fastens closed. So I will leave that to you to open. There's nothing inside. I didn't collage on it or anything. It's just the digital letter as I printed it. Here I've made a little pop-up, added a doily here. So we have some peonies in a basket and a butterfly, and I did add the little antennae there made out of some linen, waxed linen. Some pretty peonies there. Just some pretty images. This is another little flip with pocket, and just a couple things in there. Pretty tag again. It's a ruby and pearl, I think. And then this is just another journal card made from an old title page from a Reader's Digest book. Did a little stenciling on it, and I have a really cool punch that makes that neat grid pattern. Added that on there in the corner. Okay, on this side, it's kind of like a pocket, but it actually goes all the way through, so I don't know what you would call that. A bottomless pocket. It's sort of like a free-floating belly band. But anyway, inside that I just tucked a couple pages from an old book that I have. I think this is a Sir Walter Scott, and I really love how the red outlines, it's on every page like that, surrounds the text. So I just thought that was a pretty thing to put in there. Just a little collage here. Bird, some vintage book pages. This is from an opera book. This is from some kind of a, I don't know what, logarithms book. Here I made a little, it's like a side tuck, but it's just a band, so you can see the corner of the journal card down here. Just a pretty little image of a lady. Also opens up, and just added a little ribbon and vintage fabric up there on the corner. And then I really love this paper, sort of a Indian batik sort of a print with the gold. And this is the center of the signature. This is another page that I got from an art book. I think it's a beautiful image to put in the center. Okay. Now we're going to be seeing the same pages on the other side as we do when we go through signatures. So this is our logarithm page again. Here I added flowers, and then I just clipped a little booklet here that I made. And this is just some odds and ends papers that I stitched together. I added that little fabric flower on the corner, and I made a pocket on the front and just tucked a couple little things, a little tag and a little Tim Holtz ticket. And then this is just a place to journal, or you could use these papers for something if you wanted to. The back is made from one of those Amazon packing envelopes that have the cushion in them. When you stitch on that and work with it, just so you know, it totally flattens out. It doesn't stay cushy. But I did some collage on the back too. It was an experiment. Couple little pockets here made with printed needlebook images, and just a tag in here, little printed out calling card, just a little journal card there, and little tab here with a flower on it. This opens up, and I just clipped this journaling card here. And of course you could write on all of this. On this side you can see the other half of the clip, and you could clip something else up there if you wanted to. Down here there's a little label, and this is just acting as a holder for another little flip down place to do some writing. Then on this side we're going to open this up, and there's a little pocket made here, and these are just a couple little tags that I use a digital print of some wallpaper, and they're just plain on the back. It'd be fun to put some little quotes or, you know, some small thing in there. You could also add some photos or other little treasures in there. Okay, on this page I have clipped another little journaling spot, and this one ties closed just to be cute. The string runs around under the image here, and just digital prints here of some pretty lace and embroidered fabric. and I'll come back and tie that later. Okay, and here we have a pocket made with some petal paper and cheesecloth, another little girl with the bouquet of flowers, and then inside another, oh, we lost a petal. Oh dear, we've lost a petal. Okay, just a little journaling spot made out of an index card, and just added a tab so it kind of looks like a long skinny file folder or something. Put a pretty label at the top there. This is just glued on here, this pretty image. However, I did leave the bottom open, so you could use that as a tuck spot too. If you wanted to tuck things up in there, you could. I just didn't for that particular one. Here I've added a pocket that's made from a window envelope. I'm going to just turn it like that a little bit so there's not glare on it, but this is where the window is, and then I collaged over the top of it with some neutral papers, and then I added a tag inside that is from, again, the art book. Just a pretty image. I chose it specifically so it would show through the window. I think it's some kind of a girl in a church holding a torch. And then up at the top here on the page, it's also a pocket, and there's a great big tag in there with just a beautiful collage paper, digital collage paper that I used, and then I just added the label and the bird at the bottom there. Okay. Didn't do anything here. You could glue something, or I think you could write on that. It's light enough that you could do that. Here I added a really pretty image of a bird that's from an old book that I have, and it's also an up tuck, and I just created some little tags here with a butterfly on the bottom. The backs of these I just stamped on, so it's not very dark, and you can write on those. And I didn't put anything in the top, a string or anything, because I didn't want it to be too bulky inside the pocket. I think it's cute enough just as it is. I have a punch that does that. Just added a bird there. Here I have a belly band, and I've tucked a couple of things in that. This is an envelope that I printed out, and I was kind of disappointed at first because it came out a little bit stripy because I needed to clean my printer, but I liked it and I thought it kind of just looks textured, so I went ahead and used it. And then inside here I've just printed out an old title page from a book, and this is on like packing paper. It's real thin. And then also in that belly band, I have tucked another page from an Edith Holden book. This is an older one, and it's not shiny. I think it was one of the original like printings of it. I mean, not the original, but when they first republished it. And I bought the book and it was falling apart. A dog had chewed on it. I bought it at a thrift store. And so I didn't feel bad taking that apart at all, even though it was I think a first edition. But all right, and then on the other side, that belly band just wraps all the way around again, and just a journal card that I made here with some scrapbook paper and a doily. And on that one, I just added a little bit of eyelet at the corner. Here we have another flip, and there's going to be a pop-up in here, so be prepared here. Here we go. This is an image of a chapel in Edinburgh. I thought that was so pretty. And it's printed on like typing paper, so it's thin. It's crinkly. If you crinkle it, it makes a nice noise. And then just a little collage here. Just a tab that flips that up. Added a pretty label there, but otherwise you can write on this side. And we have a pocket over on this side. And inside here I have these this collaged tag that I made that has a little side tuck in it, and it's just got a little printout of some people dancing as a journaling card. This is a page from a Gwen Frostic book. Beautiful prints there, and that could be used for journaling as well. Here I've created a double belly band with some lace and just tucked a tag in there. Collage on the front and back. That one I think is, the base is a time card. Feels like it and it looks like it. Little button up there too, a little antique button. And then on this side, this is a tag made from Digitals. So pretty, and I just added the flowers at the bottom. Lots of place to write there. That bottom page is not a digital. That's, again, that needlework book that I have that I took apart and coffee dyed. Trying to show you how easily these slide in and out. It takes a little finagling sometimes. Okay, we're almost done. Here I have attached a little envelope that I made out of an old children's music book, and this just has a little, I don't know what you call these, to hook it closed. And inside here I just tucked a vintage bridge tally that I have, a pretty flower pattern all the way around. I just think those are so cute, and I love the little tassel. That's old, whenever they used to play bridge. And of course there's room in there to put other little treasures too, whatever sorts of little things you might want to tuck away. And again, they're going to be really secure in there because this is nice and sealed up. All right, that brings us to the back of our book, and that's it. So thank you so much for putting up with me and watching this whole thing. If you did, I appreciate it so much. And as I said, take a look at my Etsy shop, and just, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you for watching. Thank you, and have a nice day.